Hello, my name is Yonis. In this video tutorial, I'm going to take you through the simple steps on how to basically zip and upload your website files onto a live server. In this case, we are going to use the cPanel. Now, you have created your website. Your website is fully working. I've made some mistakes purposely, which is the common mistakes people make, and I will show you how to fix them. So as you can see here, my website works absolutely fine. And if I go now to the cPanel, to the folder, I'm ready now to highlight all the files that I have for my website. I'm going to right click, select send to, select compressed zip folder. I'm going to rename my zip folder as my website version 1. And it is important for you to actually keep uploading your website with versions. So when you have the zip folders here, if something goes wrong with your website, you can always revert back to the previous version. So now I've got my zip folder in place. I can go now to my cPanel. Now, to purchase a cPanel, if you go to Google and you type the word cPanel, you will be able to actually find quite a lot of results. I wouldn't advise you to go ahead with the advertisers, only because there's some scammers here. So I will always advise you to go through the organic search results, because these results basically shows websites that have been established. Okay, so once you have purchased your hosting, your cPanel from a hosting provider, you use the credentials to log on, you will be able to see what you see now on this video tutorial. It's quite overwhelming to start with, so don't worry about it. We are going to use only some of the tools. The cPanel is quite a powerful tool, but we only need to use a couple tools to basically upload our website. One of the main tools that you must use when you actually create your website, and the first thing before you even upload your website, is make sure though before you purchase a cPanel, the hosting provider actually provides the Let's Encrypt within the cPanel. Now the Let's Encrypt will give you a little padlock here. It's going to give you a secure socket layer. So it's going to basically give you turn the HTTP to HTTPS. So that's the first thing you need to do. So you click here and you basically follow the wizard. Let me show you here. You select your domain name and then you select issue, and then you select all the options and then you select issue. So the process will take place, and then basically your domain name would have an SSL secure socket layers installed. So that's the first thing. You go back, okay? So now we have the secure socket layer in place. We can go now to the cPanel and click on the file manager. Now within the file manager, we have a folder called public_html, or we have the www root. Either of these roots is the same root. It will take you to the same folder. So I prefer using the public_html. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call this folder group 2 software year 2020. This is for my students, my software students. Okay, now with this folder selected, I'm going to double click here on the little yellow icon to go inside this folder. Another word for a folder is called directory. So don't let this confuse you. So a folder is a directory is a folder. Now I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call this folder my name. And I will try to avoid to put spaces. And I'm going to click create. So this is how you're creating new folders by using the cPanel. I'm going to double click on the little yellow icon again, and I'm going to, in this case, I'm not going to create a new folder now. I'm going to upload my existing files. So I'm going to move this to the side, I'm going to go back to my folder with all my website, with the zip folder of my website, and now I'm going to click and drag my folder, my website version 1, over to my cPanel. Now I've done this, and I can see 100% and it's green. I could actually exit this window. I'm going to go back here to the cPanel, and I'm going to select Reload. Once you select Reload, you should be able to see your zip folder, the zip folder you have uploaded. I'm going to right-click now with my mouse, and I'm going to select Extract. And then I'm going to select Extract again. And then I'm going to click Close. Now I'm going to reload again the page, and I should be able to see all my files. I'm going to create a new folder here. I'm going to call it _notes. And I'm going to press the Enter key. And now I'm going to select my zip folder. I'm going to click and drag my zip folder into my notes folder. Therefore, I have all my files here. And I don't want anyone to steal my website by actually going to the zip folder and downloading the zip folder. People will not be able to have access to this folder. The next thing I need to do is basically check my website. To check my website, the directory is there. So the public HTML needs to be replaced by the actual domain name. The domain name I'm using for this website is learningforwork.com. So if I click here, it will take me to the website anyway. Now if I click on the group to software, this is the folder I created. This is the folder, the directory I created, Ioannis Disoglu, and now it takes me basically to my website. Oops, I've got a problem here. I cannot see my banner. The reason why I cannot see my banner, everything else works fine. The reason why I cannot see my banner is because the banner URL, the instructions that I gave to the computer. Let me go to the local computer here. The banner comes from my CSS, my styles.css. So if I open my styles.css, my banner has this path, and this path relates to my local computer. So what I will need to do, I will need to actually find this file on the cPanel and basically remove all this path, okay, which relates to my computer, and only put the path of the server. Let me remove that. This is why it is important for you not to put the full path and only put the path to the directory. So if I remove this here, I'm just going to leave it as images/banner.jpg, and I'm going to go to File and select Save. Now, my website will still look good here. Let's refresh the page. Okay, it doesn't look good. Probably because I have left the / here. So if I remove the / from here, let's save. So we'll go to File, Save, yeah, and try again. Okay, so as you can see now, my banner came back. So what I need to do now is do the same thing on the live website. I'm going to go to the cPanel. I'm going to right-click my style.css. I'm going to select Edit. Here, I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to find the location where my background image is. I'm going to highlight this. And I'm going to remove the path. So now the path is images banner. So save, exit. So images banner. This is where I'm directing the users. So now if I go to my website here, this is the Learning for Work website. So if I refresh my page now, the banner will come up because it knows where the path is, where the picture is now. So this is one of the common issues people facing when they're uploading a brand new website on the live server. They cannot see their images. And that's the reason why. Because the images, because you're developing the website on the local server, it picks up the path for the local server. So what you will need to do is basically go through every single page where you have broken images which don't show, right click, select edit, and basically find the path and change the path to the correct path. Another powerful tool, another reason why Cpanel is a powerful tool is because you can actually right click here and you can actually edit with HTML. So you can select edit, and here you have quite a few stuff where you will be able to actually manipulate your content of your website nicely and quickly. So you can change the color, you can make things bold, you can make things italic by using a nice user graphical interface. And if you like to have more control, you can always click on view source, so you can actually work on the HTML as well. Okay, so once you're happy with that, you can click save. I don't want to save this. I'm just going to exit this, go back to my website, and make sure my website looks fine. Oops, that's the local website. Let's go back here. That's it. Refresh, and let's see my website looks fine. Now, as you can see, the padlock is there. So the website is based on HTTPS, so hypertext protocol, secure protocol. So now the next thing we need to do is test our website to make sure that it's mobile friendly. So I'm going to highlight this URL of mine, right click and select copy. I'm going to visit now a website called responsive website. Yeah, responsive design checker.com. Now I'm going to highlight here. I'm going to right click and select paste. I'm going to click go. Okay, so my website here looks a bit iffy. So if I go to the mobile version, that's good. If I go to the bigger mobile, looks good, but I've got a problem here with the text. We will sort this out in a minute. If I go to the desktop, so on the desktop looks fine. On the tablet looks fine. So I've got basically 2 images. So on the desktop I've got 3 images showing. On the tablet I'm showing 2 images per row. And on the mobile phone I'm showing only 1 image per row. Now, but the only problem I need to fix now is here, the gap in between the right and the left. This is what we call padding. So if I work based on the portfolio page here first, so I'm going to go to my portfolio page, right click, select edit. In fact, exit that. Let's go to right click, select edit with HTML edit. So what I need to do, I need to push basically this text further to the right, and from this side further to the left. Now you could do it by cheating. You could actually put some spaces there, but the problem you have is when it goes to multiple lines, it will start again from there. So it's still gonna stick. Let me show you. So if I save this and I go here and I'll refresh the page. Okay, it's not even done. But you could do it, but some web browsers will actually read the spaces. But in this case, it doesn't even read the space. So that's why we shouldn't cheat. Let's go back. And let's do it properly. So what we need to do, we need to put padding here. So this is the portfolio, okay? So what we need to do, we need to go to the code view to do this. So I'm just going to put XXX, and I'm going to put here YYY. So I know where my code, where should I navigate on my code. So if your code is a bit too much, then it's a lot quicker to actually find the location of the code by actually doing this. It's a little trick that I always use. I'm going to go to the source code now, and I'm going to Control F on my keyboard, and I'm going to type XXX, and straight away it takes me to where the word portfolio is. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove the XXX because I don't want that, and here on the H2 tag, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create, in fact, let's do it properly. Before the H2 tag, white space is HTML, doesn't mean anything. So you can put some white space there so you can actually make your code a bit more easy to read. So I'm going to create now a div tag, and then I'm going to create a style, and I will say equals to double quotes, and then I'm going to close. I'm going to put a greater than symbol, and then after the H2 tag, I'm going to close the div tag. So I've opened a div tag, and I'm closing a div tag. And this div tag is sandwiching basically the word portfolio, which is the header tag, which is within the header tags. So I want my style now to have padding. So I'm going to say padding, and then colon, and then I will say the first value is the top padding. So you always start from the top. So I'm going to say 0 pixels. I want from the top. I don't want any pixels from the top. The second value is the right value. So from the right, I would like to have 10 pixels. The next value is the bottom value. From the bottom, I want again 0 pixels. And the final value is the left padding, which I'm going to put here 10. So I can basically equally divide my padding in between left and right by 10 pixels. And if that doesn't look right, I can always change it to 20 or 30 or whatever I wish. So now I've done this, I don't want to go to the YYY, to the paragraph here, to do the same thing yet, because I want to test that I'm happy with the padding here. Otherwise, I'm wasting time. I'm going to click Save here, and I'm going to go back to my live website. And if I actually, let's go here to the responsive website. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to press Save, refresh, and I can actually see my padding is perfect there. So I'm happy with this. And because I'm happy with this, I can apply the same padding now on my paragraph as well. I'm going to go back to my Cpanel. I'm going to highlight now, because I'm lazy, I don't want to type this code again. I'm going to highlight this padding that I've put here, and I'm going to remove the YYY first. I'm going to go outside my paragraph tag. Let's put this there, just below the header 2 tag, just to keep things nice and neat. I'm going to Control and V to paste. Let's use the delete key on the keyboard. Okay. And here's my padding now for my paragraph, and my paragraph tag, I'm just going to copy now the closing div tag, and after my paragraph tag here, I'm going to paste the div tag. So now my padding style, my div tag with the padding style 10 by 10 left and right, and the padding, the div tag with the padding left and right for my paragraph tag is in place. I've opened them and I've closed them. And this div tag is sandwiching the header 2 tag. I'm opening and I'm closing. And this div tag sandwiching my paragraph tag. Sometimes the paragraph tag will go to multiple lines, so don't worry about it. Like I said before, empty space in HTML means nothing. So I'm just going to put this there. But it's always important to keep things nice and neat. I'm just putting this like that for you, so you can actually see. Sometimes it looks like this. It's a bit messy, but the outcome will be still the same. So as long as you have the paragraph tag, the padding, the div tag with the padding before, the closing div tag after the paragraph, the content will look exactly the same. Okay, so I'm going to click Save now. I'm going to just leave it messy so you can actually see it's not going to affect the way the website will look. So I'm going to go now here. I'm going to press refresh. And now you can see that the padding is 10 on either side. Now, because here it looks a bit bigger because the word fill and the word free wouldn't fit within the same within this gap. So automatically the web browser brings this further down. So if I go here and select the smaller resolution, I can still see the padding being there. So this is how to fix this issue. So padding is quite powerful and you should use it throughout your website to ensure that all contents are clearly visible throughout the website and throughout different screen resolutions. Now, for the exercise or for my students, you should use an online tool similar to this. You don't have to use that one. Similar to this, responsive designchecker.com. Again, you don't have to use this website. You can use different websites to basically provide evidence of your website showing appropriately on different screen resolutions. I hope you've learned something new today. I hope you will apply these new skills onto your web production work to basically start making the web a better place. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.